What up, yo?
A ghost.
A gaze.
Hey, everybody. What's up? Welcome to another episode of the Power Up Podcast. 'Tis a podcast that just likes to look at pop culture, see what's happening in the old realm of pop culture, look at the good stuff, the bad stuff, the ugly stuff, sometimes even the spiritual stuff, because there's definitely some spiritual warfare happening, not just in that area, but all over the world. And I like to check it out and see what I can learn and discover. But thanks to anyone who hangs out with me tonight. Really appreciate it. If you are new and you enjoy the show, just make sure to smash the subscribe and punch that like button and ring that bell to get notified when I go live. We are on YouTube and we are on Rumble right now. And we're also on X. So feel free to give me a follow on there if you want. Also, in the descriptions on YouTube and Rumble, you can find my other social media. And if you want to go beyond just helping the channel algorithmic wise, maybe check out the membership and subscription tiers. I think it'd be cool to get 10 memberships or something like that. That'd be pretty fun. I also do game streaming when I can. Right now, I'm trying to schedule it to where Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays are the show, with Tuesdays and Thursdays being game streaming, and then maybe tack on some game streaming on Friday. And then over the weekend, either it's going to be either or. A lot of it will probably just be gaming. But if I schedule someone, then yeah. But thanks. This show for tonight is very Nintendo themed, I noticed, because a lot of stuff that involves Nintendo caught my eye. I do have one thing here that I'm kind of interested in that I want to read about. Oh, I forgot to drag it. Dang it. I forgot to put everything on a different tab. Fudge. Aw, shucks. There's. All right. Got that moved over there, but this one, it's on a different one. Where be? Can it not recognize? Let me try something here. Some reason, all of a sudden, MS doesn't like using. Let's see if I can pull this up here real quick. I found a Bounding into Comics article, but for some reason, Microsoft Edge says it's like not a safe site, even though I've been there like a million times. I mean, I guess I can just continue it, but it's like, oh, all your stuff is going to get breached. It's like you were doing fine before. I don't know what's going on here. All right. So I found this out. It seems pretty interesting. Something called MeTV is starting its own Cartoon Network in June that may fill a growing void. So Cartoon Network, or what's left of it, it's garbage now, is getting some competition that will do what it used to be good at, and with the involvement of CN's parent company, no less. Chicago-based Weagle Broadcasting is launching a spin-off off of their popular network MeTV based around cartoon reruns in tandem with Warner Brothers Discovery. The new MeTV Tunes collaboration between Warner Brothers Discovery and Weagle, the company behind the I want to say MTV, but MeTV network, will welcome dozens of world's classic cartoons according to deadlines. So we got a little video here. I'm going to mute it here. But as you can see, it's the old cartoons, which is awesome because one of my favorite Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck episodes. But as you can see right here, I mean, this is what cartoons should be. I hate the way cartoons are nowadays. Very basic animation, probably because it's all computer generated for the most part. No passion into it. A lot of it now PC. A lot of it doing that retarded Steven Universe. Very basic and very unoriginal. Well, I guess not unoriginal. I guess you could say it's so popular sort of thing, but doesn't lead to anywhere like that art style. Hate it. But as you can see, that is what's happening. You just saw all the apparent TV shows that they'll show. Supposedly, I exit out of the article a little too early, but apparently Freakazoid might show up. I loved Freakazoid back in the day. Apparently, also Rocky and Bullwinkle, Woody Woodpecker, Casper, who cares? Betty Boop, okay, Speed Racer. One report is saying the real Ghostbusters. Dang, they are knocking it out of the park if they can get all of that. That'll be dope. And pretty much it's sent to launch, June 25th. So very cool. Yeah, I'm excited about that, even though I don't really watch cable anymore. But at least if they're able to get together and hold the old classic cartoons, that'd be good. The question is if a lot of it's going to be censored or now, or if they're just not going to show certain episodes, because of whatever. People are weak and they can't think for themselves and all that. Ridiculous. But let's go ahead and let's talk Nintendo, because apparently Nintendo's doing a bunch of stuff. First thing we'll look into is Nintendo 2 Switch, or Nintendo Switch. The Switch 2, I guess, has indeed been confirmed. We got Niche Gamer here. Nintendo confirms Switch successor will be announced by March 2025. So a year from now. So after all the rumors throughout the past several years, Nintendo has surprisingly and unceremoniously confirmed a successor to the Nintendo Switch. The long-awaited Switch successor will be announced by the end of this fiscal year, which means an announcement is set by the end of March 2025. The company also confirmed that there will be a Nintendo Direct set for this June, but they hope to manage expectations by noting only games set for launch in the second half of 2024 would be mentioned. This doubly confirms they won't be sharing news of the upcoming console. So here we go right here. This is Furukawa, president of Nintendo. We are making an announcement about the successor to Nintendo Switch within this fiscal year. It will have been over 9 years since we announced the existence of Nintendo Switch back in March 2015. Oh my gosh, dude, how time flies. I am so bad when it comes to like console dates and stuff like that. Insane. So insane. We will be holding a Nintendo Direct this June regarding the Nintendo Switch software lineup of the latter half of 2024, but please be aware that there will be no mention of the Switch successor during this presentation. So Nintendo president Shuntaro Furukawa used careful language when mentioning the successor, not calling it a, quote, Switch 2. As many reports have stated this follow-up to be a general upgrade to the current console hybrid. This was likely only to avoid giving away any detail ahead of the announcement, but does open the door to the next generation console to go move what the Switch currently does. Though if current rumors are true, then this is unlikely to be the case. The Nintendo Switch was announced way back in 2016, where it would launch in March of 2017. Just at the end of the fiscal year for the company, it would be possible that they might repeat the same process again this year, going into the next. The Switch has been a widely successful console since launch, as it's seen over 130 million units sold since its debut in 2017. Yeah, and with that, there's been so much up and down of a bunch of stuff like um, censorship, because everyone would say Nintendo when it comes to getting the least censorship version of a game. A lot of people say Nintendo, but then they kind of backtracked on that, but now they're kind of going back again. But pretty insane, which you kind of wonder is how Sony and Xbox, are going to respond. Are they going to try to do something as well? Do they have something already as well? I mean, the only thing that I'm aware of is, you have that new Xbox. What is it? I don't even know what it is. The Xbox S now, or I don't even know. I don't even know what they call it anymore. All I know is I didn't get it, and I'm not going to get it anytime soon. And then your PS5, which now they're trying to do the PS5 Pro. But what games have came out on the PS5, and with the whole Stellar Blade thing, it's like why bother? But we do have a confirmation from Nintendo that a supposed Switch successor will be announced March 2025. Very cool. So, any of you guys ever played Rocket Knight Adventure? Rocket Knight Adventure is a great game for the Sega Genesis. Very good game. And then it had another one called Sparkster. And I believe for Super Nintendo, there was Sparkster as well, but they're two completely different versions. Well, apparently Rocket Knight Adventures ReSparked has a release date set for June, also coming in hot from Niche Gamer. And I was seeing that this was announced a while ago, but I missed it, or maybe I did, and I was like, that was really cool at the time, but I wasn't doing a whole lot of shows or whatever. But according to this, apparently it's going to be launching on June 11th across Windows PC, so Steam, Nintendo Switch, PS4, and PS5. Pre-orders are now live on digital storefronts. And here is a brief rundown on the previously announced collection, plus a new trailer. Oh yeah, so there was. Oh yeah, this is back in January. So Rocket, through 3 epic animalistic adventures in Rocket Knight Adventures ReSparked, the mightiest mammal to ever rocket to stardom is back in a 3-game carbon engine powered collection that includes Rocket Knight Adventures 1993. So this is his first adventure when an army of pigs invade the kingdom of Zabulos. It's up to the bravest of the Rocket Knights to take up his sword and save the day. Rocket through 7 stages full of the strangest enemies imaginable and stop the Emperor's porcine power trip. And then there's Sparkster, Rocket Knight Adventure 2. And I believe this one is the Sega Genesis. So this is number 2. So this is a second adventure against Axel Gear, Rocket Knight gone bad. Ooh, venture through 6 more levels to save the princess and restore peace in the kingdom. And then you've got Sparkster. And I believe this one, I guess might as well just check to make sure. This one's the Super Nintendo version. Yes, Sparkster is the Super Nintendo version. So apparently this one's a spin-off that pits Sparkster against the evil Generalissimo Lioness. In a bid to conquer the world, Lioness has taken Princess Flora hostage, and it's up to the Great Knight Sparkster to brave 9 more levels of platforming adventure to save the world. And then we got a trailer right here, so I definitely want to watch the trailer. Nice. Oh, that music. Probably going to get copyrighted, but it sounds so good. Such a good game. I only played the first one. I need to play the other ones. And there you go. Now, you might have saw something there that made me kind of disheartened, because it's like, why does this company always seems to snag this sort of stuff? And that is unfortunately the pathetic and weak-kneed limited run games. So apparently you could have gotten a digital copy back in March of 2024, so a couple months ago. And man, would I have loved to have had a physical copy of this, but because it's this garbage company who fires people for wrongthink, I wouldn't have pre-ordered it. As you can see, everything is sold out, which is unfortunate. Man, that Switch Special Edition. But again, this is why this is so annoying, is that why I'm wondering, does anybody know, is there any other companies out there that kind of does what Limited Run Games does as well? Because it'd be great if we could find them and somehow get them to at least have a fighting chance, because this is getting so bullshit about Limited Run Gaming's apparently is the only company that's making all this physical remakes or these physical copies of these certain games. Because I want to support a company who just gives out good products, and especially with the whole CDR burning fiasco with Limited Run Games, it's like, oh my gosh. I think I looked up a couple of alternatives, but they had some stuff, but they didn't have a whole lot. Let's see. I think I just typed in like Limited Run Games alternatives, and I found a list. Oh, there's I Am 8-Bit. What's that? I think I've heard of this one before. But the question is, like, do these, like, they're not getting the good titles, you know? That's the key thing. Oh, they have a, here, I'll pull this up. Apparently they have a Cuphead Collector's Edition. See, if a lot of these are like indie games, that's cool, but like, we got to do something to where Limited Run Games doesn't get offers to, like, for these kind of games, because fuck them. They don't deserve anything. They sided with the weirdo than someone who literally just liked something on Twitter. Oh, they have a Battletoads? Dang. I like the different color carts. Translucent Zitz green and ultra limited pimple brown cartridges. Dang, that would have been sick to have. Battletoads is a hard game. I can get pretty far, but I've never beaten it. Dang. What other stuff do they have? I mean, so they got Battletoads. That's pretty cool. Oh, Garbage Pail Kids. Oh my gosh. Ooh, they have a Mega Man. Mega Man X. That looks cool. 30th edition. I like that blue color right there. That's pretty cool. Basic gray. Apparently it's opaque white and translucent. Glow in the dark, dark blue. Dang. That's cool. See, this is what I'm talking about. We need to figure out a way to like get companies like these to get better established games. Which also brings up another question that kind of ties into like the main discussion I want to talk about is like so it was announced that the World Championships NES game is being released as an NES edition for the Switch. Oh, they had an Aladdin one? Oh, and a Lion King? Dang it. I mean, I have a copy of the Sega Genesis Lion King. I like that version better. Dude, that would have been sick to have that. I want to see that. Wait, go back. What happened? Okay, that's the Battletoad stuff. I don't want that. Just show 30. Let's see. It was kind of down a ways. Wait, they had like different pages. Oh, they have Mega Man 2. Ooh. Ooh, cool Earthworm Jim. Here it is. Aladdin. I also have I think I have Aladdin complete for Sega Genesis. Wow. See, this is what I'm talking about. Again, we got to figure out a way to like help these companies out too. But I'm seeing strictly limited games, Play Asia, super rare games. But they anything but limited game. Because I don't think they have apologized yet for their wrongful firing of Kara. Which is indeed bullshit. I had Kara on the show. Very sweet person. All right, let's bring up this Nintendo World Championship NES edition. So this is from Video Game Chronicle. So Nintendo World Championship NES edition is a retro speedrun game coming to the Switch in July, so 2 months roughly from now. Sorry. The game will include more than 150 challenges featuring classic 8-bit games. So my first thing when I kind of saw this is literally NES remix. Like the exact same thing. So why are you doing this? To me, there's no point. Just play the NES remix. Well, let's see if the article gives us a reason why. So initially spotted last week when it was rated by the ESRB, Nintendo World Championships NES Edition is an entirely new game based on the contest of the same name. Well, why are you using the same name? Anyway, the Switch game will be released on July 18th and will cost $30. It will feature 150 speedrunning challenges divided across the following 13 games: Balloon Fight, Donkey Kong, Excite Bike, Ice Climber, Kid Icarus, Kirby's Adventure, Metroid, Super Mario Brothers 1 through 3, The Lost Levels, which is the true second game one, but for us, it was The Lost Levels. That's Mario Madness for number 2. The Legend of Zelda and Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. So go ahead and
I'd like to welcome you all to the Nintendo World Championships.
Electric crowd here. The batteries are charged.
Before I walked out on the stage, I was incredibly nervous. It was my first time in that sort of environment.
The audience was insane. We're wild.
I'm having the best time of my life here.
The
lasers everywhere. The music was blasting, and you're on stage, and everybody's cheering, and everybody's. I mean, my mom's
Man,
the
look at that
loudest person
footage.
in the audience, right? You can hear her over everybody else.
I'm excited to go on stage. I'm excited to
Who
play.
are these people?
And I'm going to do the best I can.
Yellow Killer Bee?
Unbelievable
Like, who
performances that we
are
saw
these
this
people?
first round.
Am I going to walk out of here the best of the best? Or am I just going to be another average gamer?
It was a lot of.
I hate to
emotions at
say it, but I
once
feel
that
all you guys
me
are
as
average
the
gamers because
12
I don't know
was
who
kinda
you
thrown
are.
into. Like, this is really
Like they're
the
still
top
doing
level.
Nintendo World
Those
Championship
moments are what this championship
tournaments.
was made.
Weird.
There was a few people who I felt like were very gifted at games. It just happened to be my day.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a new Nintendo World Champion.
They did this back in like 2017. So like, have they been doing this all this time?
Come back. I can have some sort of redemption arc. In my living room? Really?
Oh man, all that hard work you did just gone down the
The
drain.
excitement into your own home with Nintendo World Championships NES Edition, only on Nintendo Switch.
Oh my gosh.
Challenges include
Again,
racing
what's
to grab
just
the
get
Super
Nintendo
Mushroom,
Remix.
defeating the Octoroks as fast as you can, reaching the gate as quickly as possible, and so many more. Take
This-
on over 150 challenges from across 13 different NES games. Aim for the best time in speedrun mode.
Okay.
Compete for the top spot in the World Championships weekly global online leaderboards.
So is there a global one and then like a actual physical
Or
in-person
take the
one?
competition to the couch with up to 8 players in party mode. Nintendo World Championships NES Edition launches July 18th, only on Nintendo eShop. The Nintendo World Championships NES Edition Deluxe set will also be available exclusively on My Nintendo Store. Containing a
Oh my
gold-colored
goodness. At least
replica
it's on the
cartridge,
Nintendo Store, not
13
by
art
Limited Run
cards,
Games.
5
Heaven
bins,
forbid that
and a
they get
physical
another crack at this stuff. Dang it, I didn't mean to click that. Can I not? What the heck? Shut up. What's up, Branawa Brain Gaming? Hey man, good evening. I'm wondering if there will be a Nintendo World Championship SNES edition. Well, it was only, I think it wasn't it only for Nintendo. I don't think they ever did a Super Nintendo. That'd be funny though. But the main question is this: is who cares, because Nintendo Remix is already out. This is literally the exact same concept. If not, some people would go on probably to say that it's a reskin. The weekly leaderboard will rotate every week with 5 different games. Not a big fan, not big on the online stuff though. Yeah, like I don't know. Like you're literally buying this just for the online portion, because does Nintendo Remix, does that have I'm assuming it would have an online portion of it to share your scores or stuff. Again, like what's the point? Just play Nintendo Remix. And isn't there a Nintendo Remix 2? Like there's no point in this. I feel like they're trying to really bank on nostalgia, which I don't mind companies trying to bank on nostalgia if they do it right and they're not bastardizing everything. But World Championships, like this is like completely pointless. There's no reason to have this whatsoever when you literally have a same game that's already been out for a while. I think this is stupid. The one caveat I can see in this is maybe because Nintendo World Champion, they said they're adding more stuff, so it's not really the same thing. This is another thing I was kind of thinking about when I saw Nintendo World Championships like in my feed and kind of jumping in here to see what it's all about. is, will releasing all this digital stuff that you can buy, will that lower the price? Because let's be real, the retro bubble is probably going to pop at some point. A lot of people say it'll never pop. It will be. Prices nowadays are astronomically high and retarded and not worth what they're claiming they're worth. I know Carl Jobst, he did, what is it, that rating system, that one company that like grades stuff, like they played a part in literally inflating the bubble and making games like ridiculously expensive when they're not worth anything, really. Well, digital versions kind of have the same effect on it. Like that's a legitimate question. My thought is probably no, just because there's been ROMs forever, so it's not like the ROMs have lowered the price of the actual physical copy of everything. But if they're starting to do like this stuff to where now limited edition stuffs are in physical form, that could be something worth looking into. Again, my biggest thing is I'm just glad if for some reason, if you want this, you only can get it through Nintendo. It's not through limited run games. That's the one thing I'm happy about, because screw them. I was so disappointed when I found out that Sparkster, the Rocket Knight Adventures ReSparked, was done by them, which apparently back in March, you could have, again, I talked about it earlier, like show it, like you could have pre-ordered it, but I wouldn't support them. The only way, I've kind of said to myself, the only way I would get a limited run games copy of it is like through eBay. So that pretty much means trying to get the cheapest scalping price, I guess you could say. Because again, that's what I proposed on other shows as well, is how do we not support garbage companies like limited run games or Sony, like with Stellar Blade and stuff like that? How do we not give them their money but still get the product to help support the developers, you know? Like, how do we do that? And the only thing I could really think of is literally third party it. Like if you actually want the physical copy, like you're going to have to third party it, like through eBay or whatever, because then at least you would know that your money's going towards them, like the person who bought it, you know, and they can, I don't care what they do with the money and stuff like that. There's that. And LRG sent out SCDRs, yep, to people who brought a 3D, yep, and you stopped buying from when they fired Kara. Yep, same here. I literally was showing on stream Shredder's Revenge and how cool it was when they did that to Kara. I still have it sitting on my desk right over here. I'm not going to get rid of it because, look, I don't mind not trying to support. I don't mind determining I'm not going to support a company, but I'm not, the whole boycott thing, if you take it to the extreme, you're going to end up in isolation. So you're going to have to give way at some point. That's the other thing too. Like the only other way I can think of to like not support these companies, but somehow get the game, is literally to pirate it. So they lose money to give off that impression, but then you're also hurting the developers if the developers are like genuine people that actually cared about the game and it was like Sony or whoever screwed it up, like Stellar Blade and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know how you're supposed to combat that because they're so infested inside of it, because they're catering to an ideology, not actual gamers. The original Nintendo World, there will also be a party mode for up to 8 players. Yeah, we saw that in the trailer. The original Nintendo World Championships took place in the US in 1990 and had players competing on a bespoke cartridge containing challenges for Super Mario Brothers, Rad Racer, and Tetris. The player with the highest cumulative score across all 3 games would win. A Nintendo World Championship cartridge was given to finalists and is now considered, they spelled considered wrong. You have a U in there, and that doesn't need to be in there. One of the rarest Nintendo cartridges around, worth tens of thousands of dollars. A physical deluxe set edition of the game will also be released on July 18th and will include a physical version of the game, a set of 5 collectible pins 13 art cards and a replica of a gold cartridge from the 1990s. That is cool, though. The stickers and pins, I do not give a crap about, but like the gold cartridge thing, that'd be sick. What is like the rarest Nintendo game out there? Rarest Nintendo video. Man, wish they had Rad Racer in this, but I believe that is owned by Square. Yeah. This is like a 2019 list. Rarest Nintendo video game. Oh, it'd be nice if I could spell. It would be fantastic. Well, this isn't helping. Not really getting anything. Well, that sucks. Anyway. Ooh. Xbox Perfect Dark reboot is in a very rough state. I guess we'll check that out. Man, I remember when Perfect Dark Zero came out with the 360. I remember hanging out with my friends and watching them play and that stuff. It was kind of cool, but kind of gay. Xbox's upcoming Perfect Dark reboot is reportedly facing challenges and is in a, quote, very rough state. Speaking on the Giant Bombcast, journalist Jeff Grubb spoke about the game in the wake of the closure of several Xbox studios on Tuesday. Oh, yeah, all those Xbox studios getting closed, just screwing so many people over. The fallout from this is I've been hearing more and more that Perfect Dark is in a rough state. Sounds like it's in a very rough state. Doesn't sound like it's really coming together in any way. VG247 journalist Alex Donaldson echoed this, describing it as a, quote, a team really trying hard to push a boulder up a steep hill. What exactly is the issue? Video game historian Liam Robertson said, from what little I have heard about the development of the new Perfect Dark, it sounds like a future video in the making, just a big protracted mess. In June 2023, IGN reported that the reboot was in the earliest stages of development and was likely 2 to 3 years away. And then while the project was announced in 2020, nothing has been shown of it since, following years of reported setbacks that have stalled development. These allegedly, is that supposed to be allegedly? They threw an N in here. Is this, dude, this is Video Game Chronicle again. This grammar and misspelling is like bounding into comics. These allegedly include a fraught co-development partnership with Certain Affinity, which worked on the game between 2019, 2021, and high attrition at, quote, or not quote, just the initiative. So, report in March 2022 that the Xbox studio has seen a fast and furious wave of senior departures over the previous year. Microsoft told staff on Tuesday that it was shutting 4 studios. Oh, yeah, I have a feeling this is probably going to fall through. If they're saying this sounds like it's on life support. So something tells me that that's rip this. Rip that. Oh, yeah, I saw this. Mark Hamill will voice the Joker in the multiverse. How can Xbox Studio trust Microsoft now? You can't. Earthbound is getting a 30th anniversary concert. Hands-on, Hades 2 is a Herculean follow-up to one of 2020's best game. Yeah, except they DEI the crap out of it. So rip that as well. Bandai Namco US is giving a 10-foot Elden Ring statue who can ever make the best trailer. Okay. That? Damn. 10 foot? Well, I'm 6 foot. Could that even fit in my room or in my apartment? So apparently the Return to Grace video contest, which is only for US residents, tasks and entrance with creating entries. Wouldn't it be better? I don't know. Whatever. Whoops. Did not mean to click that. Trailers have to be no longer than 5 minutes. So they got to create their own trailer celebrating Elden Ring, no longer than 5 minutes, and have to be uploaded to YouTube, X, or Vimeo. Does anyone even use? Well, I did some video editing for a company on Vimeo, so I know it's there. But who really does that even give in a good poll? Once uploaded, players can enter the competition by submitting a link to their video. The creator of the best trailer will win a life-sized statue of Mesmer, the Impaler, which Bandai Namco estimate is around 10 feet tall. Life-size statue, 10 feet tall. Most people in life are not 10 feet tall. That is straight up Nephilim size over there. Well, not Nephilim. Nephilim could actually be a lot higher, probably Raphaim, a Raphaim hybrid. Runner-up prizes will also be given to trailers that, while not the best overall, were still the best in a particular category. Trailers with the best narrative, best action, and best direction will win a life-size replica of the prosthetic arm of Melina. I would just put that statue by my driveway. Might help keep people away. I know, right? Get off my lawn. All right, so narrative, best action, best direction will give a life-size replica of the prosthetic arm of Millennia. Trailers with the best comedy, best use of sounds, best armor design, and the best original use of the Elden Ring IP will win a replica of Mesmer the Impaler's helmet. You got to enter by June 2nd, which is next month. So the competition is designed to promote the game ahead of the release of its expansion DLC, Shadow of the Erd Tree, which will be released in June. Last week from software boss Hidetake Miyazaki, or Miyazaki, excuse me. Oh, no, that is Key. Miyazaki, excuse me. Kai is Kai. Stated the Shadow of the Erd Tree will be the game's only expansion, but left the door open for a potential sequel. And then Miyazaki said the company would rather release one major expansion than split additional content into several parts, which would reduce the freedom of exploration and sense of adventure the game offers. Woo! Dude, I got so salty at Elden Ring. I beat it. I got so salty, though. Elden Ring is... I can do Dark Souls games. I beat Sekiro. But man, those games make me a salty pup. That is for sure. Well, Video Game Chronicle. You have anything else? Those were kind of the topics I wanted to talk about today. And we're getting into like one day ago. Oh, dude, Destiny 2 is just... Expansions are free to play ahead of the final Shapes release. Dude, just a big pile of garbage from what I've heard. Okay, we looked at Nintendo. I think I've already wrote. Oh, this has a little bit more information. So I kind of already read about Nintendo 2. At least, well, the successor of the Switch. They didn't say anything, as you can see, the successor of Nintendo Switch. So he's being very vague. So according to this, Furukawa was reportedly asked if the next-gen console is something brand new. Switch Next motto is the appropriate way to describe it, he replied to David Gibson, senior research analyst at MST Financial. While official word on the concept for the console may still be some months away, a series of leaks have previously suggested it would represent an evolution of the Switch rather than a revolution in design terms. After development kits for Nintendo's next console was provided to key partner studios, VGC source claimed last summer that Switch 2 would be another hybrid system that can be connected to a TV or played as a handheld. Yeah, that'd probably be the best bet. I think that would be the best bet. But then they'll probably do another thing where like the controllers, you'll get a version where, you know, the Joy-Cons can be separated, or you'll get the Lite where it's literally a handheld. It was also recently claimed that Switch 2 will continue to have Joy-Con controllers, but that they'll be larger than the current consoles and will use magnetic suction to connect to it rather the existing sliding rail technology. Yeah, I remember on a show talking about that a little bit. It's been claimed that the new console will be backwards compatible with physical and digital Switch games too. I would hope it's backwards compatible with a digital Switch game. Why would it not be able to do it? Beyond me. Literally, people figured out how to emulate Switch games. Physical. I mean, yeah. I mean, it'd be a really bitch move if they just changed the cartridge. I feel like that'd be a waste of time and money to switch up the cartridge system setup. Because now everything's pretty much Blu-ray. Switch uses the cartridges. I don't know. So we already know that's probably going to be announced. Any information will be announced 2025. One publishing source suggested the delay was so that it could prepare stronger first-party software for the console, while others have claimed the move was made to avoid potential hardware supply issues. So they confirmed again that they'll hold the traditional June Nintendo Direct this year, though it is said the presentation won't include any information on any next-gen game consoles and just some basic information about the Switch. Okay. Very nice. The only thing that did catch my eye is this Mark Hamill thing, just because of Mark Hamill going to like Biden's office and making retarded Jedi references. You're thinking it's possible that the Switch 2 cartridges will have a notch on it like the 3DS does, so that you can't put Switch 2 games into the current Switch? That'd be garbage. Man, if Sony wasn't gay and they kept up with the backwards compatibility stuff, oh, that would have been so amazing. I need to figure out how to get my 60 gigabyte PS3 fix. I think it's the HDMI port. I have two. One that overheats, and I did take that one into a place that said they could fix PS3 stuff, and then claim that they couldn't do anything. And now this other one, which was really solid and ran normally, stopped displaying. I don't think it overheats, so I need to figure that out. Figure what's up. So apparently Mark Hamill will voice the Joker in the multiverse. So he'll again partner with Kevin Conroy's Batman in his portrayal of the DC villain. The two are best known for facing off in Batman the Animated Series as well as the Arkham games. Voice lines referring to the Joker have been present in multiverse for some time. It's possible that multiverses could be the final game to feature both Conroy and Hamill following Conroy's death in 2022. Man, it's already been 2 years. Holy crap. Dude, time flying and sucking. It's unknown if either will feature in the recently announced Batman Arkham Shadow. Yeah, that's that VR one. Developed by Camouflage and Oculus Studios, will be revealed in full this June, so next month. Anyone even multiverses? Okay, Bugs Bunny getting his ass kicked apparently. Shaggy being Shaggy, reaching for a sandwich. Who the hell is that?
No, Batman, we have got to stop meeting like this. When do they get a load of me?
cool, I guess. Got Rick and Morty. Okay. I mean, it's Mark Hamill. Whatever. Multiverses, which launched as an open beta in July 2022, is a Smash Brothers style crossover fighting game featuring characters from a variety of Warner Brothers properties, including DC Comics, Looney Tunes, Cartoon Network, Game of Thrones, Tom and Jerry, Gremlins, Rick and Morty, and The Iron Giant. It was initially very popular, with a peak of more than 143,000 players on Steam on day one, rising to 153,433 the following day. A month after its launch, it claimed that over 2 million players had already downloaded and played the game, suggesting it had a strong base on which to build. That's pretty much like Fortnite. It's everything becoming Fortnite. Apparently, it will officially return on May 28th. So 20 days from now. But yeah, if you can't get enough of Mark Hamill, there you go. Get the multiverses. Here, we'll look at this and then we'll kind of wrap it up for the night here. How can Xbox Studios trust Microsoft now? For Xbox's hugely expanding gaming division, anything that isn't Call of Duty is now a failure, and that's a problem. Well, yeah, of course. So it's now clear that when Microsoft completed its $75 billion buyout of Activision Blizzard in October last year, it fundamentally changed the makeup of its Xbox division and in the process put all the other studios in jeopardy. We already saw one impact of the acquisition in January when Microsoft laid off over 1,900 staff from the Xbox division. CEO Philip Spencer said at the time that the affected staff were in quote identified areas of overlap with their newly acquired studios. However, I suspect the studios Microsoft closed this week were shuttered for an altogether different but no less depressing reason: continued revenue growth. Okay, so this is an opinion piece, but it is today. Activision Blizzard has done more than put a huge debt on Microsoft's ledger. I mean, I could care less really about Microsoft. I use Windows, but you attempted to play multiverses, but when it required me to make a Warner Brothers Games account, I stopped. Yeah, see, oh, gosh. Yeah, you got to make all these accounts for all these things. So that may not sound like much of a problem, but it shifts the scale of everything that the company does and needs to continue to grow. So looking into the Microsoft quarterly earnings report can give you a sense of how significant this change has been. In January, the first filing since the Activision Blizzard acquisition was complete. Content of Xboxes and services revenue grew by 60%, 55% of which came from newly owned teams. And then Activision Blizzard's games now make up more than a third of all the money for the Xbox edition. Of course it's going to be. This is what this is... No studio can survive unless it gets bought out. It's going to get bought out either by Nintendo, by Microsoft, or Sony. All the studios Microsoft has previously bought, including Minecraft maker Mohawk, acquisition of Cinemax Media, publisher of Bethesda Softworks, ID Software, Machine Games, have been dwarfed by the addition of Activision Blizzard. Yeah, they're buying all this stuff and then just going to close everything. Gosh. It's like when... so dumb. We've let this gone way out of hand. Yeah, I don't change my mind. I'm not reading this. I don't care about opinion pieces. I tried. I was like, oh, maybe there's some interesting stuff in here. And I was just like, nope, I'm done. I'm checked out. It just annoys me. Ooh, EA CEO says there's a real hunger among developers to use AI to speed up development. Electronic Arts CEO and Chairman Andrew Wilson says its developers have a real hunger to use generative AI to speed up development. So speaking during a Q&A session following its last financial results briefing, he was asked how EA was planning to implement AI in development going forward. He responded that the company was already starting to use AI in some aspects of development, citing the EA Sports FC series as an example. He says AI lets developers make football stadiums much quicker and add a wider variety of animation. As a company, we've been deeply tied to AI since our inception. It's been a very center of all of the games that we create, replicating human intelligence in the context of a gameplay experience. Okay. But certainly as we think about the wave of generative AI today, as it emerges into an artificial genre or general intelligence broadly, we're still very early. But the thing I talked about in the conference were really both twofold. One, how do we get more efficient? The stat I used was we moved from being able to create stadiums from 6 months to 6 weeks. Damn. My experience and my expectation is that will continue to shrink over time. Yeah, and then you won't need environmental designers anymore. You won't need character designers. You won't need texture designers. I mean, the the melancholy, the melodrama villain inside of me is kind of happy because I mean, the way we have all of these people involved in studios, when you have to ask yourself, are they really necessary to like finish the product game? A lot of the answer is no, they're not necessary. We know this because back in the day, with your old school Super Nintendo kind of dipping off into Nintendo 64, PlayStation stuff, you didn't really need a big ass list of people doing stuff. But the question is, who is expendable? Who is replaceable? Who legitimately does not need to be there, and get rid of them? That's the real question. Now, my thought process is, as CEO, if they could figure out a way to get just AI to do everything, they would fire so many people. So maybe even more profound than that is when we build a game, we have animation and run cycles. We had 36 run cycles, which gave you a kind of believability of human performance inside of that game. When we launched EA Sports FC 224, we had 1,200 run cycles. Okay. This adds to the individuality and the uniqueness of each player. But does it look real, though? That's kind of like the thing, too. It's kind of like when it was like back when I was in college in like 2010. 2006, 2010, when Beowulf came out, and everyone was just mesmerized on how Beowulf was all 3D anime, like weird, realistic 3D animation. It didn't look real because it was so damn real. It was unreal. To me, it's also like when animation has gotten, it's one thing for like 3D animation, like your Pixar and stuff, but then there's this like merging and rising of like your Toon Boom animation, where some of it's hand drawn, like maybe the concept art was hand drawn, and then you just slap on very basic shading and stuff like that, and then use Toon Boom to fill in like the transitions of like a hand turning and stuff you see like Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty works because that's kind of like the style. But then you think of something like X-Men 97, which I still piss a lot of people off because I say the animation is garbage, which I could technically say that maybe I'm referring to the art style, but the animation is garbage because it's relying too much on computers to adjust the animation. And I think I read somewhere like, oh no, it was based on 2D animation. Dude, just pull up the old cartoon and compare the two. Yes, I know like the old cartoons obviously skipped frames as well. Yes, there's going to be animation errors and stuff like that. We see that all the time, but there's volume. There's passion in there. There's like little to no passion in any of these, in any of this type of animation. Anime's even getting there. It's getting super simplistic because they're just using technology to handle it. And that passion of like having actual people have a hand in it is gone. This is why still to this day, your old school Looney Tunes cartoons kick ass. I made a lot of people mad by saying X-Men 97 is garbage. I cannot believe in how butthurt people get when I say that. And it looks, and I don't care how crisp and clean it is. That's fine. But when I feel like there's little to no soul behind the artwork and the animation, I don't care how neat and clean it looks. It's garbage. Hell, it would have been awesome to see them actually replicate that actual style intentionally, you know? But again, it's again, it's just it's insane. I might consider looking back in 97 because the story, like I watched the first episode. The episode is okay. And I heard it gets better. So maybe it's one of those, the story is good, but that animation, man, can you just imagine being able to capture the animation from the OG cartoons and literally just give it an HD like upgrade and that's it? It's like upgrading the assets, like for any like video game remaster. It's like just upgrade the assets. You don't need to rebuild it from the ground up. Man, that'd be amazing. To me, X-Men 97 makes me think of your Dragon Ball Super. So many animation garbage. Very limited in terms of like details and stuff like that. And then just with when the Blu-ray comes out, we'll clean it up. We'll clean it up. That's the other thing too, is a lot of the times they go with this sort of animation style or animation process. It's just so that they can pump it out real quick. And it's getting annoying. Can't bring yourself to watch 97. I always get disappointed by these kind of projects. Supposedly the story's good. Again, the animation pisses me off. There's a legitimate parts where there's like weird slowdown or like some frames are missing and it just can't decide what it wants to do. I would say if that was intentional, then make it look like the original one. Don't change the art style. Capture the art style that the original cartoon series. Then I might be able to give it a pass. It's kind of like when you see certain videos where they'll replicate, like you see your Adobe After Effects YouTube tutorials where people will show you how to make a vintage 80s, 90s like film look to it. But it was all shot on new hardware and stuff. But yet they're able to successfully capture that style. That's what I'm talking about. That's just me, though. Apparently not the right opinion. So he suggested more than half of EA's developmental process could be enhanced by generative AI in the future, and that the plan is to transform the development process within the next 5 years. Guys over at EA, you got 5 years to keep your job until it's possible you could get replaced. You believe more than 50% of our development process will be positively impacted by the advances in generative AI. We've got teams across the company really looking to execute against that. Second phase for us, of course, is how do we further expand our games? How do we build bigger worlds with more characters, more interesting storylines? If efficiency starts to really take place over the next 1 to 3 years, our exception is that over a 3 to 5 year time horizon, we will be able, as a part of our massive online communities and blockbuster storytelling, build bigger, more immersive worlds and engage more players uniquely around the world. And we think about that on a 3 to 5 year time horizon. Oh my gosh, there's more. I'm done. I've had enough. I've looked enough. I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to call the stream for tonight. So let me know what you guys think about all these subject matters in the comments below. What do you guys think about, World Championships, Nets Edition? Is it just a Nintendo remix skin? What do you think about Rocket Knight Adventures? I personally would have loved to get it, but any physical copies is 1, sold out, and 2, done by limited run games. So fuck them. And then your Nintendo Switch information. Let me know what you guys think. Let's see if we can. Let's see. What do we got? Any redirects? Nothing that I'm seeing at the moment. But again, make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to smash the thumbs up button, punch the subscribe button, and ring the bell to get notified when I go live. We were on here. Let's close this. Stop screen sharing. We were on YouTube. We were on Rumble, and we were on X. So appreciate all the support, you guys. You can also check in the descriptions of those two platforms to find other social media that you can reach out to me if you want to. And of course, anything that goes beyond the algorithm, like checking out membership tiers or subscription tiers, always humbled, always blessed. But I just appreciate you guys coming to hang out with me. I'm going to dip. So Brian Brain Gaming. Dang it. I think I always mix up your names. Says have a good night. You have a good night too. Take care, you guys. God bless. Should be online tomorrow playing more Beyond Good and Evil HD. Don't miss it. Should be 8 p.m. Central Time. But until then, catch you guys on the flip side. Take care and peace.
They've been serial crushed by some huge friggin' guy.